Well, to talk more about the situation in Eastern Ghouta, I'm joined by Dominic Stillhart. He's the Director of Operations at the International Committee of the Red Cross. Thank you for being with
Good
us
evening.
tonight. Now, as we saw there, this has been a long and bloody siege for the civilians who have been trapped in Eastern Ghouta near Damascus. What can you tell us about the people who have been allowed to leave?
Well, I can't tell you much about the people who left today. I also just learned from our colleagues on the ground that about 149 people actually were finally allowed to leave. What I can tell you is that our teams, they were in Eastern Ghouta twice last week, and they were shocked by the dramatic situation they found in Eastern Ghouta with people that were lacking everything, food, access to clean water, and especially also access to medical care, which is extremely difficult. And particularly dramatic is the situation for children. We were told that children with their mothers were up to 20 days in cellars of houses and didn't see the day for 20 days.
And it must be extremely frustrating for groups such as yours who have been calling, along with the United Nations, again and again for some kind of humanitarian pause. We saw that aid workers were forced to pull out because the bombing just continued. Do you see an end to the violence anytime soon, or what hope for those people still trapped in Eastern Ghouta?
Well, we've seen time and time again in Syria since 2011. Every year the conflict has intensified. And Syria today is the mother of all wars. And at the end of the day, it's always the civilian population that is suffering the most. And what is really difficult for us is the fact that each and every time we organize a convoy like this, visit to a besieged area, it takes days, if not weeks, of negotiations with the government in Damascus, but also with the groups that are controlling these areas that are besieged.
Yes, because there have been reports, of course, that the rebels are preventing people from leaving as well. Is this as bad as the situation we saw in Aleppo?
Well, the situation that we see today in Eastern Ghouta is entirely comparable to many other situations that we've seen in all these years of conflict in Syria. Today, we also have a dramatic situation that is unfolding in Afrin in the north. There is heavy fighting that is taking place in rural Hama and in Idlib. So there are still entire areas in Syria where very intense fighting is going on, and hundreds of thousands of people are in dire need of assistance and protection.
So what is the strategy for groups such as yours now? Just to wait until there is a pause in the fighting to try and get some of those much needed supplies to civilians?
Well, what is really necessary is not just to wait for a pause. What is necessary is much better respect for international humanitarian law, which actually allows people during times of conflict to have access to basic needs. So we should be able to work in the midst of conflict. That is the mandate and mission of organizations like ours. And that is also why on a daily basis we are negotiating access to people in the most difficult and hard to reach areas.
And that is becoming increasingly difficult, as we've seen in Syria.
It's always been difficult, but at the same time, if I look at what we have managed to do last year, we have crossed the front lines 51 times, and we managed to assist up to 3 million people. So it is cumbersome, and it will remain, unfortunately, cumbersome, but our teams on the ground, together with the Syrian Arab Red Crescent, do everything to reach as many people as possible in the most difficult areas.
All right, Dominic Stillhart, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much.